This episode is brought to you by Love Hurts. Kiwi Kwan has had quite a career, from childhood roles in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom and The Goonies to a recent Academy Award win for Everything Everywhere All at Once. But now Ki finally stars as a leading man in the film Love Hurts. Love Hurts is the perfect date night movie with its mix of over-the-top action, comedy, and a ton of heart. Love Hurts, only at theaters February 7th.
This episode is brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the date of the big game first before you accidentally buy tickets on your 20th wedding anniversary and have to spend the next 20 years of your marriage making up for it. Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
Hey Atlanta, say hello to Small Business Help from Apple. That's right, we're here to make starting and running your business simpler. From helping you choose the right devices to setting them up hassle-free, we can help you build your business in no time. Speak to a business expert and get the help you need at no cost whatsoever. At Apple, we're open for your small business. Go to apple.com/smallbusiness or visit an Apple store to learn more.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices. Plus, extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with points. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. Give me beer or whiskey, wine or gin. Anything to shake this mood I'm in. My football team's got me drinking.
Back at it again with another shade of blue. We are the KC Soccer Journal. My name is Cody Bradley. Thad Bell, Robert Russert, Kerry Robinson are all here in the studio with me. Welcome. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for letting us join.
We're still here. I didn't know that we would still be in the studio at this point. I'm changing jobs, but they couldn't wrangle my key card away from me. So we're pirating in this studio.
So Cody is bruised and battered, but he still has his key.
They're going to have like some large smelly guy try to take it away from you.
He could never. All right, so off-season is in full swing. There's plenty to talk about. We had a game, not a good one. We've got some rumors. So, yeah, let's just get right to it. Thad, you talked to Vermes the other day, the first press conference of the year, right?
They've had several press conferences. Where have you been? 2 in person? Well, 1 in person.
Okay, it was the first post-game press conference.
It's the second post-game.
No, besides the first game.
We talked the other one when you were gone.
Each of the games, they've had a post-game.
Still the same old Cody with the same old key.
He never gets more of a glimmer in his eye than when he knows I've done something wrong, and he can pounce on it.
It's not you. It's me.
Yeah, you were still offside. Anyway.
Yep. All right, so what was the question, though?
You spoke to Vermes. How did it go? What did he tell us? What information did you get from him?
Well, the game was, kind of good. It was better.
I want to kill this guy.
No, he said players were incoming, essentially.
Announcements are coming. Yes. Come on, I was setting you. Yes, it's coming. It's real.
He made it like he said it a couple different ways, but it made it sound like it could be the next couple days. So
even by the time someone might be listening to this.
Yeah, and actually, I do expect it'll be pretty soon. Like early in the week. I kind of expect that. I don't know that. Just
okay. He says the quote was, "There's some things that are very close."
Yeah,
not grammatically correct, but it's a good quote. It gets me excited. So the Unai Hernandez is the first one that we heard about. He is apparently headed to Saudi Arabia. That one is done.
Yeah, he
headlined as a shocking move.
Well, I mean, I think that it actually is. This maybe isn't Sporting Kansas City talk, but I think that is interesting. The captain of Barcelona B, this famous academy.
Right, yeah.
And he's going to Saudi Arabia.
It's money.
It said about like €5 million. Is it that much money? Did that outdo us?
Yeah, but what is he getting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the question.
So no Unai Hernandez. We liked those highlights. That would have been very interesting to get another addition to the Catalan Cafe. But the rumors now are for Manu Garcia, maybe the number 10, 27-year-old Spaniard. And that it sounds like there's another one coming with him, maybe. Also from Eris, a 25-year-old Russian, Shapi Suleimanov.
Is that how you say it?
That's how I said it, and I said it with confidence, right? Did it sound good? Suleimanov.
Let's go with it.
Can we go just Shoppy?
Suleimanov. Shapi, I like that. Shapi, it's a great name.
Yeah, Shoppy on the wing.
So first, okay, 27-year-old Spanish midfielder as the number 10. I don't know anything else about him. That sounds good to me, though, right, Robert? 27-year-old Spaniard.
Well, I'm going to quote David Greenwald because David likes it when I say things for him, apparently. Nothing like rating the sixth-place team in the Greek Super League.
Yeah, that part has me a little worried. And it's not even the top scorer off that team.
I know, that's what I was about to say. He doesn't even really score goals
like-
or many assists.
I mean, because the number one scorer on the team is still there. He just scored today. Like Loris Moran or whatever.
So Manu has
that was
18.
rude.
Manu has 18 appearances this season, 1,400 minutes, 4 goals, 2 assists as the number 10.
True.
Sixth place team in the league.
We'll win an MLS Cup with him.
Hey, it's possible. It's possible.
I think he's 18th in the Greek league in scoring.
Yikes.
12 teams. That's, top 1.1.5 of each team.
So
Sorry,
I can see
I kicked
both
a
of
chair.
these guys coming in, being somewhat shocked at the quality of MLS and the physicality of MLS, and deciding at some point whether they're going to actually make it and be a strong player for us, or they're just going to fade by the wayside. Carrie, what do you see happening?
And if we're going to talk physicality, let's talk about that second player.
What do you know?
So there's a 10-game suspension that he got for a riot that he participated in.
This is Shapi Suleimanov.
Yes.
Is who we're talking here.
And then he also got hit with a 5-match ban and a fine after a French female referee appointed to the Greek Cup final, which resulted in a red and a yellow card fest at the very end of the game. And then he said something to the ref after the final.
So that got
Okay.
bonus fine right there?
Yeah. 10. So bad that it was 10.
Okay.
So Peter's gonna love him.
Let's break it down and try to make excuses. That first one, it was a team riot. Do we know that he did anything, or it's like he was supporting his boys? Because you got to have a guy that'll support the boys.
I don't have any information about that. I just
just
know
saying.
it was a riot.
You need someone scrappy.
That was 10
We're gonna
games.
have somebody scrappy. We're rebuilding this year.
A fiery right winger like Johnny Russell.
There you go.
I wasn't going political. I was going side of soccer field.
If
He
we
is Russian.
if we had him with Basong and during that FC Dallas game, Paul Areola is not alive today.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. Okay.
Checking to see if he's a redhead.
He's
No.
not. He isn't.
No, he's
A Russian redhead.
He looks like he'd be a problem though. He's got a face that's like, yeah, this guy's down to scrap.
so he is from the Dagestan. Again, I can't say this, but portion of Russia,
Okay.
which a large portion of them don't like Russia. So
Okay. Yes.
So I don't know the politics here. I don't know his opinions. I don't know if I want to ever know.
What part of Russia was Igor Samuntikov from?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. You guys might remember him. He scored the game-winning goal for the Open Cup in 2000 for Kansas City Wizards at the time.
I was not alive.
Yeah, that's okay.
Shapi Suleimanov, long enough name, but it's not even his full name. Thad, have you seen his full name? Would you like to give it a shot?
No.
2004.
I have
by the way,
seen it,
correcting
yes.
myself. 2004.
His full name, I'm going for it. Magomed Shapi Kemilayevich Suleimanov. I stumbled a
like
little
it.
bit, but
I like it.
Is there like an abbreviation we can just throw in there?
Give him a fun nickname right now.
Yes.
MSKS.
Shoppy the Choppy.
Isn't that a mascot?
We'll workshop that one.
I was thinking if he's going for the violence, maybe, he's...
Good reflex, but we'll work on that.
I didn't say it was my strong suit.
Catalan Cafe with a Russian corner.
Yes.
They served vodka there.
So there is an interesting part of that discussion. I think that it was suggested that maybe Manu Garcia, the midfielder, the number 10, is the one that Sporting Kansas City were going for, and that the Greek club Aris wanted maybe a little more money. So then Sporting were maybe like, all right, let's see what this Shoppy guy is about. Throw him in the mix as well. Yeah. Which feels like a very Major League Baseball kind of deal. That
was Burns playing Moneyball.
A little bit, maybe.
You know? Like, hey, we want $500,000 more for this guy. Well, okay, we'll throw in $750,000 more. You give us both. Like, something like that, maybe. I don't know.
Kick the tires on this guy.
Doesn't it sound more like a Sporting Kansas City type of deal than a Major League Baseball type of deal? Because this is what Sporting does. They go to the bargain bin and try to pull out some great finds. Am I right?
That's true, but that's still a baseball thing. Okay. How often do you see any soccer team go and say, we'll take 2 of your players at the same time? Like,
Robert, that's honestly a hard thing for me to admit. You're of course right. I just never wanted to phrase it like that. That we go to the bargain bin and try to, and that's how the team operates. It was more that, look where we find this talent and rejuvenate players and things like that. I thought it was more Moneyball rather than like our only hope is
Sporting
the bargain
Kansas
bin.
City doing good things for good people.
Frugal. They were frugal.
So Thad, what do you think of this Shoppy with his history coming and playing for Vermes? He's coming to America, the land of opportunity, fresh start, green grass. Is that what we can hope for here?
We can hope. There's always hope, right? Of course, that's what kills you.
Yes.
No, we read the history and you can say, oh, that's not a great person. We don't know all of the story. We don't know any of that. Maybe he's a changed person. Maybe he gets here and he has a fresh start. I don't know. I don't like that he was specifically yelling at a female ref because
I know
MLS has female refs.
I was making all the excuses for this guy in my head before, and then Carrie got here before we started and said that he yelled something at a female ref, and I was like, oh, okay, never mind.
No,
Well, I'm talking about MLS quality in particular, but wait till he gets a hold of MLS referees, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Come on. Versus the Greek League, how much better could the Greek League be with referees?
I mean, we'll have to see who the captain is because back when Johnny first started, there was a interview where he talked about how Matt Beasler had to calm him down because a ref came to him in Portland and was like, you got to get a hold of Johnny right now or else he's going to get a red.
Yeah, let's see. Jake Davis calming down Shoppy the Choppy.
Is that where we're at? Jake Davis is calming other people down?
He's maturing.
Maybe Eric Tommy probably, but
He's maturing. You better mature quickly, right just directly in front of our eyes. If he's the one responsible for calming down the 25-year-old Russian.
Yeah, it's going to be an entertaining season.
It will, and I'm excited for it because you know what? No expectations. Anything good that happens is all gravy.
we are literally going into the unknown.
It's
so
going to be
far.
fun. We need more
Literally.
assholes on this team. Like,
It is.
We've gotten soft. Like we're opening
I'm here for it.
paddleball.
I'm here for it.
We're opening pickleball courts.
No,
I mean,
don't say that.
it's fun to
Pickleball.
It's not pickleball. It's padel.
Yeah, but
Close
isn't
enough.
It's still pickleball.
Yeah,
It's cooler than pickleball.
I mean, yeah, no, I mean it's cool to see players opening that up, but I want to see some fights.
We had this discussion last
Gary,
year.
I'll kick your ass in pickleball.
It is more your age demographic. No, we
You're
had
not
this.
wrong.
We had this discussion last year about Sporting maybe being soft.
Yeah.
Like after the St. Louis game, kind of getting muscled out of there. The shithousery. They won that battle in those games. I'm here for it. Let's bring in a guy that will get in the mix, tear things up. We got Basong too. Don't forget Basong, Carrie.
It's true.
Yeah.
Ndembe.
In
He
Denver,
reposted
yeah.
something about him being the Missouri massacre on his story.
The Missouri Massacre, and that's good because every reference with the team is always Kansas. So good job, Logan.
I gotta say though,
Yes.
we gave it back to St. Louis. You know, it's just the fact that we seem to be surprised by it the first time every season. Oh, St. Louis is physical. Oh yeah, that's right. Mental note. Next time we'll get them.
Yeah, if you have players who are prepared and ready to be physical, like Shoppy the Choppy, apparently.
You know what? I like it. The second time I heard it, I like it. I'm on board with it now.
And we got to see, man. Maybe he's the nicest, sweetest guy, and he plays weak. I don't know, but I mean, 'cause yelling at a female ref isn't exactly a good trait. But until then, I'm going with Shoppy the Choppy.
That's true. Good reminder, because we even were just making fun of his face, or I made fun of his face at one point. So he is about to be a player. Maybe we should go easy.
But
give him a chance.
We got to see if he comes in and he plays, rugby kind of guy, or he's a go play
Pickleball.
Yeah, or padel, pickleball with a Catalan accent.
All right, so neither Manu or Shoppy the Choppy were in the lineup this weekend for Eris in Greece.
Yeah, this morning, Sunday.
This morning.
But Lauren,
What does that mean, Thad?
Means they're probably going.
It means they're probably gone.
Yeah, I mean that's what happens.
They're going somewhere.
There's probably some like wanker media guy over there. Is this story true? Why are they held out? Oh, they just had a lower body injury. Never mind that.
I thought you were going to try your Greece, though. Do you not know Grecian?
Greek? It's Greek.
Grecian.
That's a formula.
product?
Yeah.
That hurt the second that left my mouth. I knew I was in trouble.
I gotta go see if I can find an old friend of mine if he's still alive, because he was like way older than me, but he played in the Greek league back in like the 60s or 70s, man. I worked with him in the corporate world, and he just always made fun of MLS. Like, we were very much tougher than that. Like,
Okay.
that was a terrible Greek accent.
Sounded more Russian. Like Shoppy the Choppy.
Yeah.
It did sound a little Russian. All right. Second match of the preseason. 2-0 loss for Chicago, Robert.
Yeah, well,
That's about it. And that ends our recap of the game.
Hey, at least we got video of the goals.
They weren't our goals. No goals scored yet. 2 games played, no goals scored.
that is a bit concerning, yes.
Okay, so you want me to play positive for a second?
No, none of our listeners want that. I think everyone wants you to be angry and upset and jump to
I'm
conclusions.
irritated, but no Agata, and obviously no Polito. No Polito for Chivas either.
Yeah, what's up with that?
We don't talk about players who
He was
are
in
on the team
Kansas City
anymore.
last weekend.
Thank
Like,
you
dude,
very
get
much.
out of here.
He hasn't been in the lineup but he's showed it that he's got a number 9 jersey on his social, so yay for him. But no Willie, so I've never been convinced Mason Toy is the answer for scoring goals for this team. He's just a fill-in. They've had lots of...
So's Willie, though.
Willie can score goals.
Go back in the history of KC Soccer Journal people and see Cody's love for William Agata. It is very evident.
William, upon first reference, Agata.
Which you didn't do. I let that slide, by the way.
Yeah, well,
So that was it. It was just, your excuse was no Polito, who's not even on the team, and no Willie. That's
No
your-
Rosero.
That was the best excuse you came up with.
It's a mixed lineup. Yes, I know. The other teams have that too, but I've seen them go through preseasons, be terrible, and then be good in the regular season. They don't have these 2 new players from Greece where, I can't pronounce those names.
Thad, we've played Florida International University.
Thank you, Robert.
And the Chicago Fire, who have been like one of the worst MLS teams in the past decade, and we still can't score a freaking goal.
They have one of the greatest coaches in U.S. national team history.
And that would be
Fair enough.
who?
Is he back?
Fair enough.
Is he still abroad?
Yeah, I thought he was abroad trying to get Neymar, wasn't he?
I don't know.
We're talking Greg Berhalter,
Yes.
who's
Greg.
now the coach of Chicago Fire. If you're
Thanks for connecting the pieces.
They have signed players where Sporting has not.
okay, Thad, that's something I actually forgot to put on this rundown here. That point right there. Other teams are signing players.
Yes.
And Sporting or not.
And
The-
players from teams that we've heard of.
The window is not open yet.
Not all of them.
The window's not open yet. So how are other teams signing players?
It's not an easy answer.
I know.
The window is not open. However, you can sign players to contracts. They won't be added to the official roster until the window is open, but they can come over, they can train, they can do all that stuff. If you transfer from a team, that if you transfer a player from a team, you buy the player's rights, they can come over and do all this stuff. You can do all that in advance of the window opening. They just can't be officially on the roster. If a player is out of contract, you can do that. So if there's a guy that's just out there like Mason Toy, for example, right? You could just sign the guy and he can be added to the roster. But it's the other ones that they won't officially be on there. So they can't play in a real game until next month.
Okay, that was very well explained. Thank you for that. I've been seeing this question a lot, mostly on the subreddit, where people are like, other teams are signing people and the window's not open yet, so it doesn't matter to them, and everyone just thinks that, we're not going to sign anyone and doomsday, et cetera, et cetera. And I just wanted to fill in that gap there. It's not that they haven't officially, technically signed players, and a lot of what people are seeing other teams are doing is just a reporter reporting that it might happen or it's going to happen. And
I think they've signed.
I know, but I'm just saying, I think that it's sporting just see it differently. They see no need to do the ceremonial thing weeks before and announce it and do all that. They're going to have all the T's crossed and I's dotted before they do any of this, before they make the announcement. It's just how they go about it, seemingly.
But the concern is that these other teams, players they've signed, are coming in and training with the club, getting used to everything, and it's just going to be a delay for the guys at Sporting Signs to get adapted.
Yeah, I do think that they're behind schedule. I would imagine they would have hoped to have the roster filled out a little more than they do right now. I bet they think they're a little behind schedule.
I'd like to see that board in the office, wherever that office is, of the list of players they wanted and how many an X went through because they weren't able to get them. How long is that list?
Yeah.
I think they wipe them off there instead of just put an X through.
Is that what they do?
I would hope. I mean, that would. Yes, I would like to be in that office. I was in Vermes' office one time back when they were down at Swope, and I went in to talk to him for a quick interview, and he left the room for a second. I'm just looking around, looking at all the boards. I'm like, do I dare take a picture of that board?
Right.
And I'm memorizing it, and I see this name up there, Aurelian Collin. I'm like, who the hell's that guy?
An origin story. Very nice. I like that.
But that was the kind of guy like you talk about. They find some guy out of the bargain thing because he was a problem somewhere else. Actually, Aurelian was a problem at his previous club. So he came here and was one of our favorite
Kai
players.
was kind of the same way, right?
Oh,
Hadn't
yeah,
he been an
definitely.
issue
Still
everywhere?
is.
And a lot of places afterwards, according to those people.
Yeah.
Kai is a wonderful human being. I really like him. I consider him a friend. But yes, he has supposedly had issues a lot of places. And I think a lot of it is he speaks his mind.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that he hates people or anything else, but he will definitely speak his mind. I've been there when he's bad, I should say bad mouth. He's spoken openly about his feelings about Sierra Leone's federation, about different things. Sorry, we got off track. But yeah, no, Kai's a great guy. Just I can see why teams don't like him at times.
Okay, you've sold me on Shoppy the Choppy. Sounds like it's going to be great. It's a reclamation project.
Hold on.
And
Did I do that?
Are we comparing Kai to Shoppy the Choppy? Because
No,
I don't think
MLS's second leading all-time scorer.
Kai has not gotten 15 ban suspension.
we were talking, you said Aurelian Collin had issues before coming here. Kai Kamara had issues before coming here. Look how those turned out.
Those aren't taking bans into consideration. Let's just want to point that out there.
And I am hopeful that they have talked to this guy and have some good feeling about him if they're signing him.
Honestly, not necessarily. If that theory is true, where he's just an add-on player, where it's like, all right, fine, we'll give you a flyer on him for $500K, see what happens.
And yes and no. I mean, I don't want them to go just get some guy that's going to be a problem. However, right now, however you want to say it, however you want to look at it, it is a rebuild. That doesn't mean it's okay for them to lose every game this year, because that would really suck and that would be bad and there would be lots of changes. However, it is a rebuild year. If they get something and they build that foundation to be better, I'm okay with that. We got to see that. So that may mean bringing in players and trying some stuff, because they were in a bad spot. Everybody's like, oh, they were so terrible. And quite honestly, yes, they were. However, it doesn't just, you can say, oh, you can change immediately because you can just buy new players. You can't just buy new players because you have contracts, you have salaries, you have caps. If it's going to switch, they can go from being very bad to being pretty good. But if they're doing it in a logical manner, it might take a little time because they're trying not to overspend on players. I don't know what the salaries are involved. We'll have to find that out. So I'm trying to give him a little benefit of the doubt.
So how does this work? Is Garcia going to fly first class and Choppy the Choppy will be in like the cargo hold? Is that how that's going to work?
Without a parachute.
Jin, they sent them together with like a friendship T-shirt on.
Could be.
I'm with him.
Speaking of losing games, back to another game they lost. Eric Tommy was on the wing again, Thad. You think we think he's destined there? I actually really like Eric Tommy on the wing.
Me too.
If he is not responsible for all of the attack going forward and creating and doing all of that, if someone does that and then gives him the ball in a good spot to do something crazy, chicken run around with his head cut off type thing, then I think it could really work. I really like this. If we get the number 10 to be functioning in front of him, behind him.
Yeah. And you have guys who can fill in when he cuts in, somebody can fill in behind him. Sporting at their best over the last decade was that team. Sporting at their worst was not that team. And we've seen a lot of that. So,
Well, I think Eric Tommy's a quality of player who, no matter where he's at, he's going to be effective.
Yeah. Confident in Eric Tommy there. I don't know
That's our
the case.
captain.
Very well could be.
Captain Eric.
Sorry, second captain after Jake Davis, of course.
Carrie, what do you think of Eric Tommy?
I love him. I mean, he was one of those players that, of course, we signed him because we desperately needed someone, and it's really worked out well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has.
Along with William upon first reference.
That signing did work out well. I don't understand it. I watched every second of it, and I still don't understand it. But like, it's worked out well, right? Goals versus dollars spent.
Yeah. Minutes. A lot of. I understand why people still question that because of he's had some very famous misses. Of course, I remember a really famous miss from Kai Kamara too,
Yes.
second leading scorer in all of MLS history. Not saying Willie will be that, but he's worked out in that regard. And yes, he could be much more clinical. And if he was, man, he would be somewhere else. We'd have sold him.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to hate myself for saying it, but when Agata first came in, he had people like Ben Sweat, who I'm going to give him some cred, played some nice balls into Mr. Agata to finish. And he doesn't really had that consistently when he's been out on the field. I mean, Polito's been playing the 10. That's not Polito's game. Leibold, that's not Leibold's game, really. It's hasn't been Kyrie Shelton or Jake Davis's game, serving balls into a center, not a number 9 consistently. So I think if we do get that 10 who can feed Agata the ball, I think he's going to be
Dude,
better.
Agata missed 3 chances a game. He was getting the chances, and that's what was so
but
confusing
they were
to
mostly
me.
chances he had to create. What
No.
he needs is that ball where it's a
Oh,
one-touch.
incorrect. Were we watching the same team? Because it was Polito never got any chances. That's what I didn't understand. It was, for whatever reason, he wouldn't get the ball in a spot where he just had a tap in.
Yeah.
Willie would be in whatever the difference was in the team. Willie would get in a spot in the box with the ball at his feet and mess it up. He had more chances.
But
than
if he gets
Polito
more
did.
consistent service.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I hope so. That's what we're counting on this year, right?
He missed more chances from within 15 feet of the goal than I did in my entire career.
That's because he gets in good spots. Let's go back
No,
to
he
that.
does. He does. Look,
He does.
I've been talking positive about him, and he has a lot of positives.
Yeah, he does.
But he also has some negatives that he is not clinical in those spots. Yes, getting better feeds to him might help. Well, it would help.
The
don't get me wrong.
the negative of this striker is he's not good at scoring goals.
He needs 10 chances to maybe score 1 or 2.
So who's going to take PKs? Do we have the answer to that yet?
Yeah, man.
Choppy the choppy.
Yeah, maybe.
John Polskamp.
Oh, there's another one. That's actually news from that press conference where Peter was talking. It sounds like he's given the reins to Pulskamp. It's his job. He's earned it.
And not giving him any backup.
Right.
I'm not saying Shea Way and Court Camp aren't backups, but yeah, I mean, we all pretty much expected there'd be some veteran keeper brought in that, hey, if he's hurt, this is the guy that starts, or something. I expect Pulskamp to get the starts. It's just we thought this other guy would be there to at least push and no.
It's the year of the big bear, baby.
But I think that's just another sign that this is a rebuild year, that they're not going down that path. They're going to give time to Pulskamp. I think they're going to give time to some of those younger guys that I wouldn't necessarily see Peter doing, but because now it's not win now as much as it is build for the end of the year, next year, summer, there'll still be summer signings, hopefully, all that stuff. I know, like, you look at social, people complain, they keep moving the 3-window thing out. Well, they had to have a spot where they could make moves to begin with. So it took till the end of this year. So this really is the first window they've had a good chance to make a lot of moves. They haven't made a lot, but
It'll be really interesting to see the playing the youth thing. One of the players that Vermes mentioned after this game was Jan Jurček. Jan.
I asked about him.
You did?
Yes. And he didn't really give a lot. Oh, he's done well. I mean, he said a little more than that, but it wasn't a lot more. Like, it wasn't like, oh, yeah, he's been really good. I kind of was hoping to see if that was I could get a feeler like, oh, are they going to sign him as an extra, backup to
Okay,
Kyrie?
so, yeah, there was just a quote going around about this younger player. So it's that you asked specifically about him, not that Vermes offered him.
Right.
Okay.
Also asked about Bartlett. I actually will be probably having an article out in the next couple days about Bartlett. But he's just he's an interesting guy.
Okay, so Bartlett is one to keep an eye on.
Yeah. And again, I don't know if he'll be a superstar or even play a ton this year, but from what a lot of people I hear and talk to is that he's a guy that's going to be around for a long time. So maybe he's a Jake Davis type where he builds into the role and is there around for a while.
So just looking at the comments that Vermes made, interesting. There are a lot of different concepts and different ideas that are given out to the players, and the players are trying to take in. So explain somewhat maybe their struggle in the preseason, but interesting to see what those concepts and ideas are. I'm going to assume they're on the defensive side at this time because that's something that we wanted to emphasize is get those goals against down. So
He also didn't mention Jansen Miller, so that should be a name we should see in at least SKC2.
Yeah, he did mention him, and it was he's looked good. So I would expect him to get signed either as a player for the first team and play a lot at the 2 team, or get signed to the 2 team to see if he could advance. Like you said.
Speaking of SKC2, they're going back to Swope Park.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm excited for a non-0% chance of being able to run over a player. I miss it. Because they walk out of the locker room to the field and they have to go across a parking lot.
I'm just excited for not having to drive 45 minutes to go to the game.
Swope Park Rangers.
Yes. I want him to get renamed back, but yeah.
Me too. I think one day we might get SPR back.
I know that there was supposedly a push to have the 2 teams named to a different name.
Mm-hmm.
I know Vermes didn't like that, which is why they changed in the first place, because he wanted, when they signed players to the 2 team, you sign them to Swope Park Rangers. That doesn't sound like it's the second team for Sporting.
Yeah.
So it supposedly would make it easier to do. I don't know. They should be close to a coach also, from my understanding.
For SKC2?
Yes.
Okay, good. That would have been good to put in the rundown, but thank you for adding that at the very last second there.
Have you ever noticed I don't always think ahead?
Yes, I have. And did you notice before we started today that I was like, when we're talking and you remember something at the last second that you want to talk about, let's think of it now and put it in the rundown. And that didn't work. I really thought that was the key to unlocking this moment right here.
You foolish man. What's bad,
That's
though,
your fault, Cody.
is about 20 minutes after I leave here, I'm like, oh, shit, I should have talked about that.
I know. Okay, so you have heard rumblings. Might be an SKC2 coach on the way as well.
Yeah. Obviously, there has to be, but it sounded like they might be close. And
a name we would know?
Of course, they did say that
I asked that question
ago, too, but
I very specifically asked anybody I would know, and the response was, "You know everybody, Thad." I'm like, no, not true. Not true. So
okay, cool.
Yeah. I was actually kind of hoping for a couple different people, but I don't know. We'll see.
Like Roger.
That would be interesting. He's, as Carrie mentioned last week, he's in Florida, or he was. Is he still in?
I don't know.
Okay.
So
I was told all the academy coaches are down there right now.
Maybe
they're learning the new concepts to impart upon the academy players.
Has Benny landed anywhere?
Not that I've seen.
nor has Johnny.
Yeah, I did search up Johnny last night.
We know he's
Saw
in town
nothing.
for today's game, I'm sure, though.
I'm sure.
What about because Fontas apparently retired, right? Anybody, Amelia? Anybody heard about him?
No.
Castellanos.
Yes. I was going through like the people we had from that large
Right,
group though.
right,
Remy,
right.
Voltaire, has he landed anywhere?
Not that I've heard.
Did Casti land somewhere? You brought his name up.
Yes, USL Club. Thad, what club is that? Help jar my memory.
Well, he's returning back to that club.
Tampa Bay? No?
Thad's acting like he was trying to quiz Robert, but he just couldn't remember. You guys figure that out. I see the phones out there researching, and we're gonna go to break, and then we'll come back and wrap things up. All right. What team is Castellanos returning to? My God. The
You-
entire break.
I've
We were
I'm-
broke for 15 minutes there. And you guys you couldn't figure it out in 15 minutes.
15
huh?
minutes?
I'm looking up to see if we have any sites on any of the other players.
I don't
So far, no.
understand. How is this a difficult
See,
thing?
I said Tampa Bay, and I think it is Tampa Bay.
It is Tampa Bay Rowdies.
Thank you.
I don't know why that took you guys so long. Shouldn't that be a very
Hey,
quick
I
and
had
easy
it. I
thing?
just wasn't wholly
You
confident.
know, if we had a better leader at the producer side,
Oh, jeez.
we need Greenwald. That's what we needed because he was like always on
He
the
sits
computer.
at the computer. Yes, yes.
But he doesn't pay attention. Carrie, what's going on with the Currents? Have they started games yet for preseason?
Nope, they just got to California.
Okay, and we figured that out. We
Yes.
couldn't remember last week where they were going.
Well,
California.
They're going to both, but they're starting in
Alright.
California. So
I think a little bit was we were not sure if they were going to California with things going on in California because it seems like everybody that goes to California has been moving to Florida or New Mexico or Arizona or all the like.
U.S. men's national team and the women's camps were moved to Fort Lauderdale.
And the U17 and 16 women's camps moved to Arizona or New Mexico. But otherwise,
Not much happening there, except for the few California girls that the Current have apparently made them ineligible to play high school soccer for the
What?
season.
What happened?
Ouch.
and not intentionally, but apparently there was a trip to
Okay,
Brazil.
well, good. I didn't think they did it on purpose, but I would like to hear the story.
Well, it would kind of make them evil now. That would add a whole new, that would add a new NWSL twist.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of evil NWSL teams for some bad reasons. This would be a completely new one, at least.
They already dislike us, so
Apparently, there was a trip that they took players on to Brazil to train. It wasn't they didn't train with current players, as far as I know. If they did, I apologize, but it sounds like they were taking players to train and maybe get a look at them for future signings, and that broke some rules in Southern California sports rules.
So
Somehow.
that's the disconnect there, is that specifically in Southern California they had this rule that messed them up and the team didn't know that? Because isn't this all pretty like standard stuff? Shouldn't they have known that what they were doing would have made them ineligible?
Every state has different rules.
Yeah, okay.
And, if I remember the story correctly, their rule book is like 280 pages or something. So nobody really 100% knows it. But I think Carrie said that some people knew it, but then they didn't tell the girls. And
Yikes.
yeah, it sounds like obviously the Current might have probably didn't know because it's in California and it's also high school soccer. But it sounds like there might have been some disconnect in athletic directors in California not telling them that
Dang.
this is the results.
So you said some girls. How many are we talking? Like a massive group?
No,
or
I think
like-
2 or 3.
well, 3 from Southern California, but I want to say there was 5 that were in California, but 3 because it was one newspaper article, OC Register, I think. So that was specifically mentioning the 3, but I think there might have been a couple others. So I just found out about it, like right before we came here, so I haven't really had a chance to ask anybody.
Interesting. Okay.
Not that I'll probably find anything out anyway, but yeah.
Comets had a big win against Chihuahua last night. The Savage, great team name also.
That was a fun game to be at. Yeah.
And it was their first win, and they savaged Chihuahua.
Their first win.
against Chihuahua.
Oh, ever?
Yes, ever. Chihuahua.
You know, Cody, there are a lot of players on Chihuahua. You know, a lot of Mexican players who were
shitheads.
complaining and whining, which was completely out of character. But I tell you what, it was a good atmosphere, a lot of fun. We mentioned earlier mascots for the mascot game.
It was a mascot game.
Yeah, it
I
was
know,
fun.
and I was supposed to be in it as the Fox for 101 the Fox. And I was going to do it even though Friday was technically my last day. I was going to do this, but I was in a volleyball tournament. We made the final.
You
didn't we?
missed it, man.
Priorities.
Also, I put on this mascot costume. I used to do this every now and then. I could not breathe. I put it on. It was the most uncomfortable thing. I was like, I don't think I could do this for 6 minutes on a field. Like, I legitimately am not
It
sure
was
I
like
could do
three
it.
and a half.
Yeah, it was a short one.
Three, maybe I could have done it.
Yeah, I think you could have, man. I mean, it's not like you had to run a lot. There's mascots out there that can't see.
Dude, my team signed
Most
up.
of them could not see from what I could tell.
My team signed up for this volleyball tournament that was called Neon Glow, and it was at night, and we play in this bubble because it's winter. That is sold to me false advertising as black lights. The ball's gonna be glow in the dark. The nets are gonna be glow in the dark. Like the Savannah Bananas have started playing baseball games like this. They do neon glow baseball games. That's what it was sold to me as. Walked in, it was just the bar. Just the bar was black light, and the playing was normal. So that was a
Martin
bit of a
City?
letdown. Yeah.
Yeah.
At Martin City. So that's why I was like, dude, I'm going to this neon glow tournament. Let's get this done. Let's get this win. And then it was just normal.
But back to the Comets game.
Well, back to the mascot game. Did you see the sloth fighting the taco?
I did. There were a couple of little altercations.
I know. There was like mascots squaring off. And like there's a sloth. There's a taco that doesn't even really have hands and like trying to battle a sloth. And I'm like, yes, I do have a photo of this.
You see what you missed, Cody?
And then Comet, well, both, let's see, Casey Wolf was in goal.
Okay.
Comet and him battled for the ball up in the air, so they both were using their hands outside the box. Comet gets it, but gets down and actually shoots the ball into the goal. Comet scores a goal kind of legitimately, although it would have been taken away by VAR, but that's beside the point. There's not a mascot VAR. But at one point, Casey Wolf grabs the ball because the time's running out, grabs the ball, runs through, knocks over like several mascots, like literally knocking them over, and then dives across the goal line, trying to get across up against a manta ray.
Casey Wolf would do main character syndrome in this game. Make it all about him. Of course he would.
Yes.
What a guy. He does the old person, I don't know if he still does it, but he goes to schools and does motivational speaking
Yeah.
because it came to mind.
There's two or three.
Yeah.
There's two or three
But
guys that
this
do it.
one guy, he also brings out like a binder. He's like, if you go to section so and so, see this and this. I almost died.
He did almost die.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I do because that one, I don't know if it's still the same guy because that's a long time ago, but the guy who fell off the thing, he lived right next to one of my coworkers.
Well, he's still reckless if he's diving across the thing in the costume.
That was actually Mahomes getting warmed up for today.
But well, I'm not even sure about the rules, but as he dove across the line, he lost control of the ball. So I don't know if that would count as a goal.
Did he
or
break
not.
the plane? If he broke the plane,
I think he was losing the ball before that, though.
Was he bobbling it?
okay.
I think so because he
That's it.
ran into the manta ray as he was
losing
doing so.
control.
I mean, again, I have a photo of him doing this. I had a good angle on it, so I did the. It's not great lighting, but you know.
I'm pretty sure the Chiefs are going to get rocked today.
Wow.
Okay. No.
I am wearing.
They may lose.
Look, I have Patrick Mahomes
I don't
all
think
over
they'll
me.
get rocked.
Oh, good. We got a couple Chiefs. There. Look at all this. We do have some red in here. Thad, staying strong, buddy. Don't wear that red. You're a good man.
I have no team stuff on whatsoever.
On Friday, I entirely forgot about Red Friday. Didn't even consider it at all.
Well done, Cody.
Again,
Well done.
Josh Allen's going to 4th and 2 them to death.
Red
I hope
Friday?
I sound stupid right now, that everyone's listening on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. I hope I sound really stupid, but I did this last year. I had no confidence last year either.
Everyone's going to hate you tomorrow.
That's fine.
On the last Blue Turf pod, I predicted the Comets would lose against Chihuahua, and I was wrong. So maybe
Definitely wrong.
you will be even stupider than I was.
New year, new team. It's the Comets' time now.
Well, they had just lost the week before in San Diego, so
It's the Comets' time now. Did we want to talk about the game?
Sure. I mean,
Robert seemed like he had something that he
Go
wanted
for
to
it.
say.
yeah.
I know, I keep interrupting with
Thad
mascot
had his
stuff.
3 stars of the game that he voted for, one being the Comets goalkeeper. He had a fabulous night.
He was the number 1 star.
Yes, had some great saves, and his distribution, my goodness. Flighting balls up to number 9s up top and letting them do the rest.
And number 2 for me was Chad Vandegrift. I think you might have went with Zach.
Chad Vandegrift is such a good name.
He's from St. Louis.
He is, but he plays here.
Sounds like a snooty name too, like a rich family.
Yeah, he was probably West County.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I mean,
like someone here
I
in
wonder
the
which
room.
high school he went to.
Yeah.
He's actually a really nice guy, but yeah. He could
It
have been
sounds like
West
he's
County.
from Connecticut. Is like what that name sounds like.
Chad Vandegrift.
Yes.
Should you come over to hunt some grouse?
He should play lacrosse.
Upstate New York. Yes,
Lacrosse,
he's playing lacrosse.
No, but Reggett, Cody's favorite player, had an excellent match as well. He's a big guy. He posted up well, but
Reggett's a big guy.
yeah, he is.
How
I
tall
mean,
is-
relative to the rest of the guys around?
Okay,
But
yeah.
not the last assist, Thad, but the assist before that, through ball, split
Yeah.
the defense at the back post. That was a gorgeous pass.
Zach has not been scoring as much this year. He's been battling some injuries, but he got a goal, and he had 2 assists to Chad Vandegrift.
And he gets rowdy too. I mean, when there was some scuffles going on, he was banging on the glass, to keep
Reggett?
people going. Yeah.
Yeah. Normally he's starting it.
Yeah, he does get into it once in a while.
Scrappy team. I really like this Comets team.
It was a fun night.
Yeah, I bet 5-2 over Chihuahua. That's a good win.
He had a nice bike.
Overhead kick.
Yep.
Attempt, anyway.
Yeah, he didn't score, but it was still nice.
The Savage, one of the rare singular team names that I like.
Why aren't they the Savages?
Honestly, they should be, but
Singular. Together they make one savage.
Actually,
It's about
individually they're really quite nice. But when they come together, they are
There you
savage.
I think they're the verb. Chihuahua, savage, you.
Oh, like yes, they will savage you.
Yes. I think maybe that's what it is. Or maybe it's just that doesn't translate to English as well. I don't know.
Cody, I'm going to go off script if that's all right.
Please do, because I was about to ask anything else we
please
forgot.
do,
because
then-
I did it before the show, that didn't work. So anything else we forgot, have at it, people.
I want to get Cody's opinion on this. Luca De La Torre is signed with San Diego.
Love Luka.
How do you feel about players like him in the position they're in? Not really a breakthrough national team player, but
Yeah.
he's kind of in the picture. Come to MLS. What do you think?
Yeah, I love Luca. He's been successful in Europe, and San Diego's trying to do things. He didn't set the world on fire over in Europe. He's trying to be in the national team picture. Come over here, get your face in front of more Americans, and put your name on the map. I think he could do really well in this league. I want my Major League Soccer to be good and to have our national team players in it. So I like that move a lot. I don't know if you were asking me from the perspective of the player. Maybe he could stay over there and make an impact on a bigger team. I don't know. That's a question. But hey, San Diego is fucking beautiful, so I can't fault anybody for not wanting to go live and get paid to play a game in San Diego.
And it's his hometown team.
Yeah, exactly.
And he can come in there, be the man, and maybe in 2 years go back to Europe with, a resume of making a good team.
It is a loan still, so
Okay.
option to buy.
Correct.
He will get his celebratory octopus, which is what he does whenever he wins over in Spain. So I
go.
assume that was a requirement for places he had to go.
That they have octopus like
Yeah.
in the aquarium? I mean, does he get to go to the San Diego aquarium and
It's
pull one
I'm
out?
sure that
octopi.
will be a thing.
Octopus to eat.
Isn't it octopi? Isn't that the plural of octopus?
If he gets more than one, does he eat more than one at a time?
But you didn't say a or an octopus. You just said octopus like you were saying it plural.
He's just trying to mess with me. It's okay.
He's trying to get you.
But he's going to go to the aquarium to get an
Don't take the
octopus.
bait.
Another national team player that there was a discussion about was Cade Cowell. We had a reader submit an opinion piece, which we welcome anytime, all the time, if you would like to do that. What'd you think of Cade Cowell? Thad, you're making faces over there. Actually, I saw faces on both Robert and Thad. You guys must not have liked this opinion.
I don't know that he's somebody we need to go get. I mean, if he was free and cheap and all that stuff, yeah, he's probably he's a good player. He's not spectacular. He's kind of one note, physical, strong, fast, but I don't know. I mean, that's not necessarily bad, but it's not somebody we need to go try to get.
Yeah, 100% agree. But we welcome all of your opinions.
Yeah.
Opinions.
I mean, just because we publish an opinion doesn't mean we all agree on it or even any of us agree on it, but it's good to give voice to these opinions out there. Maybe,
And just a good discussion.
Yeah.
Cade Cowell's a good player.
He is. I'm not trying to say he's a bad player. Just I don't know that we need to go chase him down.
Yeah, I think Jake Davis is, the guy that we're hoping develops, keeps on developing, and can maybe even supersede what Mr. Cade Cowell has done.
So anyone listening, if you have a take out there, you think you've thought it through, it's well thought out, you want to put it down on some paper or digital paper, let us know.
Let's
we
go
like
get Diego
discussion
Luna.
around here.
go.
Diego Luna. That's an intriguing one.
Yeah. But they like him, so they're not just going to pick him up.
Yeah, that's a fun player right there.
Yeah. I've liked him every time I've really seen him. He seems like a little bit of a hothead.
A little hothead for sure.
Little
I kinda
high
like him.
maintenance at times, maybe.
Yeah.
And I could be wrong, but it seems that way. But he's just a guy I've really liked how he played. And again, you could always go for that other guy, Matic. What is?
Yeah.
Hey, we're on the road to get a fully scrappy team, so let's just go for it.
Yeah,
lean
Choppy
into
the
it.
choppy.
Any final thoughts? Thad, you want to say something prophetic?
I don't know if it's prophetic, but just as we were looking at these players, I'm going to quote Harry Lime. If we give in to temptation, we should maybe get it appraised first.
Sporting! Who did you just quote?
The other side don't seem so tough, and 3 own goals ain't all that rough. Our skipper has just been sent off. Supporters strong have all gone soft. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. Give me beer or whiskey, wine or gin, anything to shake this mood I'm in. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking.